Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Russia starts using some MiG-29 and I don't know if that's a change of tactic or is running out of other kind of aircraft. So let's see what the Voice of Ukraine says today on the 17th of October 2022. Russia begins redeploying mothballed MiG-29 jet fighters. The Russian military has started to redeploy its mothballed, that's how it's called, MiG-29 multi-role fighter jets from storage. Ukrainian military aviation news portal Military Aviation in UA tweeted on October 16th, referencing a series of satellite images taken of a Russian air base in Milerovo, Rostov Oblast, the day before. So it says that modernized MiG-29s were also retrieved from storage in the city of Kursk, near the Ukrainian border. These modernized aircraft are equipped with high-precision air-to-air and air-to-surface missiles and are capable of long-range flight due to additional fuel capacity provided by integrated fuel tanks and the installation of an in-flying refueling system. So development of the MiG-29 began in the Soviet Union in the 1970s. The jet's first flight took place on October 6, 1977. Well, you could say that's an old plane. Let's put it I know it was very good when it came out. It was considered, oh my god, what's wrong with this guy here? But something designed 50 years ago, I don't think that but on the other hand, you know, the laws of physics are the same now as they were then. I don't think anything else was discovered since then. Maybe, you know, a little bit of an angle that could make a little difference, but they were performing then. I don't know if I think they could do the job. They are able to perform whatever they will be used for in Ukraine. After all, they're not going to meet over there, I don't know, F-35s or 59 or whatever. They're gonna meet the same kind of MiGs and Suhois the Russians or the Soviets gave them, and they built and bought and whatever. So it's gonna bring something of the same level. They were let's say modernized, that they can use high precision missiles. Okay, I'm assuming the Ukrainians air defense will be able to hit them nevertheless. They have a high speed, I know that one, a very good speed, but it's interesting that they started redeploying these ones, and that's according to the Ukrainians, so it's obviously is a surprise and a threat. They didn't just report it because, oh well, it's change of weather tomorrow. No, it means something. Now, it was the German defense. He was defense minister. No, he was not a defense minister. He was the chief of the military in Germany. He was not the Minister of Defense. I can't remember his name. Zuk, Zan, Zon, Zan, Zen, something like this. Not Zen, Zan, Zon. And he was general, and he said that Russia will. I made a video on this topic about I don't know, 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half ago, and he said that Russia will not run out of weapons anytime soon. He said. And he explained that Russia has still stocks of ammunition and conventional weapons since the Soviet Union era, and they can always use those, like they close their eyes and just keep the finger on the button, and they still gonna have them if they do that forever. And they're still, they can cause this destruction. And he was giving some numbers of can't remember exactly how many, 60,000 rounds used I don't know, a day, and here and there. He said they're not gonna run out, they have enough. On the other hand, you have the other weasels in the Western Europe saying, not that the German was not in Western Europe, but saying like the Brits and the Ukrainians, oh, they're gonna run out. The Russians are already done with the missiles, with the rockets, with everything. The German guy said, no, there's no way. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, probably they are, you know, probably certain they're gonna go down in their stockpile of modern missiles, like let's say Calibre or who knows what. But they will not run out of the regular Iskander use now and then. But S-300s or S-400s, S-300s, they have enough. They had time to build a stockpile for those, and they can always use the you know, the regular mortars and rockets. They don't have to use missiles and fight there. That's just that's what it is right now. Unless they want to hit pointed targets, they're gonna use the whatever they have over there, the missiles. Guided, obviously, guided rockets equals missiles, right? And then you have also airplanes. Again, there were about 2,000 airplanes, aircraft. The Russians had at least 2,000 at the beginning of this. The Ukrainians claim that they, I don't know, destroyed about what, 300 or something. Well, you can cut that in two probably, and you get about 150. If not, then 80 or something. I would assume about 80. Well, let's say 100, but I don't think so. But let's give them 300. 300 out of 2,000. Now I don't know how many they were operational, because you can have a fleet of, I don't know, 5,000, and it's just 50 that are functional. It doesn't work that way, I guess. They said, well, they ran out of pilots. Again, really? I made a little calculation. How can you run out of pilots? Right? And no, they ran out of pilots again. The British and Ukrainians, and they use Wagner Group pilots. That's an impossibility, an imbecility. Use Wagner Group pilots, and I made a little calculation. You know, what bracket you can fly as a pilot. Let's say of age. Let's say you're 22. Let's say 23. From 23, let's say to 50. Or to 55. I put about 20 years. I can put 25, I can put 30 if I want. But let's stick to 20. If you stick with 20 years, can you imagine how many generations are? So let's say you use 20 years. So that means you have a generation from what? From 2000, right? From 2000, but you have to have 30, because from, let's say, 25 to 55 you can fly. So at least, so it's 30. So it's 30 years. So that means how many fighters came out every year in Russia, do you think? 5? 2? Do you think there are still, I don't know, in 1920s or something? No, it's they probably got, I've just figured out a few hundreds, at least a few hundreds. Even if I put 100 a year, and which is, I'm just making a joke of myself, 100 a year, okay? 100 a year multiplied by 30, right? And you get to at least, what, 3,000 or something? So 3,000 at least they should have at this moment, 3,000. Now 3,000 if you put two in one airplane. Some Suhois have two side by side, right, and some of them behind. So you put two, so you got 1,500 airplane with pilots on it. That's the minimum of the minimum of the minimum. Imagine they have 1,000 a year. That means they should have about 30,000 pilots available. I mean, you get minimum and maximum, let's say, and I think 1,000 a year. I think it's more than 1,000, but let's give them 1,000 multiplied by 30 years is 30,000 pilots. Divided by 2 is 15,000 crews on 20,000 airplanes. How in the fuck you gonna hire a Wagner private motherfucker who used to be a pilot in the Russian military when you have them? And you give them what, multi-million aircraft to a private company to blow it up? Why? Because you don't have pilots. Really? Fucking use mathematics is nothing like, oh my god. But these tards here, they think that we are tards, but we're not. All right, well, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.